Da!
Looks like.
Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for the first game of 2026 here at the URC. My name's Tyler Pisani, joined as always by Mr. Gary Allen. And Gary, we've got some new faces out there for Eastern Washington. One, a player coming out of retirement in Jaden Hofacker, number 4. And then we've got 4 new guys out there with him. Walker White wearing number 22. Easton Del Campo. Fans in the Spokane area will be familiar with that name, wearing number 25. Adam Pellerin is back here for Eastern Washington in number 27. And Caleb Knopp from the Spokane Braves wearing number 29. Eastern Washington squaring off against the Utah Valley University Wolverines in this first matchup of 2026 for the Eagles. A big hit in the corner. What a way to make your mark there, Walker White.
Well, he just said hello. No, I'm excited to see these new players. It's great to see Pellerin back. They really were missing him.
Here's a pass from here. Tries to push it up ahead to Eli Nickish and just out of his reach.
You know, is it me, Tyler? But right now, it looks like it's already chippy out there. And it's only been a minute and 12 seconds.
Well, the officials sure think so. We got a hook early on in this one, just a minute 12 seconds in, and somebody is headed for a timeout.
Well, I know one thing. Utah Valley needs to be aware of Tank. That's Hofacker. I called him Tank back in his play day because he'll blow you up. He doesn't care. He just run right over you. It's good to see him back on the ice.
And that penalty, 112 of the first period. Walker Montgomery, 2 minutes for a hook. He's going to put Eastern Washington on the power play. Puck back up to the top of the zone. Over near side to Pellerin. He's going to feed it closer down to the wall to White. Back up top to Pellerin. Pellerin through traffic. Kicked away by UVU netminder Braden Baxter, his first save of the night.
But so you just saw right there with Pellerin just how he sets up really well in the D zone and really helps their power play out tremendously. They really missed him when he's been gone.
Pellerin picks it up, top of the zone, near side to Nickish. Eli tries to put it on net, kicked away by Rico for the Wolverines. Through traffic, looking for White on the back door. He's not able to handle it. And here comes UVU, the captain, Adam Weissenberg, having to battle near side. Eastern getting a line change on that one's going to go the length of the ice. Halfway through this opening penalty, as with some speed up the right side comes Caleb Knopp. Jelinek trying to get fancy with the backhand there, right into traffic. Snatched out of the air by Knopp. He's going to pass it ahead to Jelly. Jelinek near side looking for Deserkis. Instead, it's going to be Knopp that picks it up, parallel to the blue line. Player loses their stick. Knopp still with it, blocked and sent to the corner by Baxter. Heading the other way, unimpeded. Here comes Colia. Colia forehand, backhand, leg save by Riley Anderson.
That is huge. I can't emphasize huge because that was the first true shot Utah Valley had on him. The momentum's been with Eastern, and that was a tremendous save, and that really keeps Eastern on with their momentum swing right now. And I'm really interested in seeing how the new guys blend with the old guys. I know that most of them played junior hockey. So it'll be interesting how they blend in. They're obviously talented players, and so it'll be interesting to see how they blend.
And here comes Smith up the right side. Tries to feed that back to Zerkis, a little slow to get into the zone. And here comes Del Campo picking it up. Deli near side to Kendall. Couple of Spokane products here. Deli coming through the neutral zone. Shot taken. Looking to go glove high on Baxter, and he gets just enough of it to send it up into the netting in front of the catwalk. And that will do it for the penalty, as Utah Valley able to escape that first one.
Well, I noticed Coach White's kind of changed up where some of the players are playing, because Dudurkis is playing D right there on that whole shift. So I'm wondering if he didn't drop back to play D. He did last year a little bit for Eastern.
Battle for the puck on the far side. Push now to the center. Murphy with it. Brings it up the left side. Tries to feed it back across, but not there is Bezera.
Well, Tank was hassling him all the way down. He picked him up quickly.
Big hit behind the net between Boot and Bezera. Eastern coming away with it. Here comes Jake Nickish. That's going to get kicked in, and they're going to call that offside, even though it was off the skate of a Utah Valley player.
I think Nickish is going for after the whistle slash.
See if that's what they call him on. Definitely some extracurriculars.
And that's Jacob Nickish.
3:50 of this opening period. Now it'll be the Wolverines going to get a chance on the power play, as Nickish going to take a 2-minute timeout for a slash. We'll get a chance to see how these two teams gel on the power or on the special teams. Eli Nickish gets beat heading towards the center, and Anderson swallows that shot up.
Anderson's standing tall right now for Eastern. He last two shots have been point blank on him. He's done an outstanding job of keeping Eastern at a 0-0 right now. Excellent job by Riley.
Stick down by Murphy. He's got it heading towards the top of the zone. Casually over to the far side. He's got Kalia up top. That's where he goes. Right out to the slot. Dangerous puck. And Weissenberg not able to get a handle on it. He's got to chase it behind the net. Back up now to Murphy. Murphy looking to go down low. Back up to Murphy at the point. He's going to go across. With the puck is Kalia. Tries to feed it in nicely to the center. And Pellerin going to swallow that one up and send it into the net. With 1:09 left on this power play.
And I'm glad to see Del Campo come out and join the Eagles now for the second half of the season. It's great timing with that Pac-8 tournament coming up in February. This is the time you really want to start gelling. So it's good to get these players out, get used to each other, and see how they can do.
Puck on the far side. Eastern still in possession. Jelinek all the way back to his defenseman, who then is going to send it back to the attacking zone. Utah Valley having to rebuild from beyond their own blue line. Now picking it up on the far side. Poked away. Good defense by Del Campo. This one fed up top. Little pass behind the UVU goal, and that's going to send another Eastern player to the box. They're going to say a late hit by Kendall. And goalie to the bench. Here comes the Wolverines looking to attack with 6 skaters. Eastern finally getting a touch on it. They're going to call that a rough. Interesting decision on a check in that situation. So Eastern Washington exits the box and sends another player. This one 5:55 of the first period. It'll be Kendall for a rough. He's falling into old patterns here early in 2026, Gary. Kalia up top. He's going to feed it down low. Ends up on the back door. And now a chance for Eli Nickish if he can get past the defense, and Murphy picks his pocket and brings it back across the blue line. Weisenberg crashes the net, but it's going to stay on the far side of the ice. Back down to Murphy. Murphy down behind the net. He gets just enough of it to push it over to his own player. Murphy finally lifts it off. Shot taken from the top of the circle. Pushed over to the far corner. Kalia with it. Couple of touches from Weisenberg. Back to Murphy. Back to Kalia. Winds up top of the circle. Anderson right in the midsection smothers that one.
You know, I haven't had an opportunity to see Utah Valley for a few years now, but they got a couple of talented players I picked up right away, especially Murphy. The big kid skates really well, and they look like they have some talent on this team. Eastern can't keep affording to take these penalties. I don't know what else to say about it.
Not with the way that Murphy has been quarterbacking this power play.
He's definitely their main guy on that. He sets everything up.
Finally, that puck pulled away from the corner by Ferencs. Now on the stick of Traub. Traub back to Ferencs. He's looking for the low percentage shot, and it ends up right in the glove of Riley Anderson, his sixth save of the contest.
He's playing well. Anderson's playing extremely well right now, and that's really helping Eastern, especially being 2 men down in less than 5 minutes.
Shot taken from the top and sent all the way back down to Baxter, the netminder for Utah Valley. He's going to hold on to it as coming in as Panis. And Panis going to get tripped up in the neutral zone. Not a penalty you want to see them take this with 18 seconds left on the last penalty, but this one going to come 17:37. And it'll be an obvious trip for Dawson Bunch.
Well, the only good thing right now, Anderson's playing extremely well, and Utah Valley hasn't capitalized on these penalties, but sooner or later it's going to bite the Eagles if they're not careful. We've seen it this year that they can, some games they took several penalties and it bit them.
Back at the top of the zone, Kalia. He's going to go near side to his own man. Kalia up top to Murphy. Murphy thinks about it. Near side, one-timer missed. Booted down into the corner. Easy pass back by Montgomery. One-touch pass by Murphy. Looking for the man on the back door. And White gets that one up into the neutral zone.
Kalia and Murphy definitely look like they're quarterbacks on this power play for Utah Valley. No question in my mind about it.
Goes right back to him, and he fumbles that one out into neutral ice. Has to circle back, wait for his team to exit the zone. White not going to let him do it easily. White, a bulldog so far out there. All over that puck, no matter where it's at on the ice early on in this one. Murphy looking for the one-timer from the top of the zone. Nickish going to send that all the way down the ice. Tried to chase it, but got hung up at the blue line, giving the rest of his team a chance to get new skates on the ice. 45 seconds left on the penalty kill.
Well, Murphy did an outstanding job for Utah Valley. Nickish was going by him. He just rolled them off after he lost the puck, so good heads-up play by him.
Kalia has it up into the netting. 31 seconds left before Dawson Bunch is freed.
Murphy and Kalia, no question in my mind, are big for Utah Valley. So is Vest. I've been watching him, and he's out there quite a bit offensively, too, for Utah Valley. So we'll see if that continues the trend or not.
Again, up to Murphy. Sent down low. Back to Murphy again, or actually rather that is Panis at the top of the zone. And that one waved off. Big save by Anderson right on the goal line.
That's a huge save. He had it, lost it, and went behind him, and he stretched out and knocked it away.
And good vision through the traffic as he traps that one on the ice. 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. 8 saves on the night, and now he's got to adjust his pads. So a quick break in the action.
Anderson's stout right now. He's playing an outstanding hockey game for Eastern. So far, Eastern just can't get any momentum built up because they've taken 3 penalties almost back to back to back. And that's really stopped them from how they started this game. They came out flying, but those penalties have definitely slowed them down. Again, we're talking about there's Murphy again. He's out there. Vest is out there again. Only guy I'm not seeing is Clea right now.
And penalty expired, back to even strength, at least for a moment.
Are you trying to predict something on that when you said for a moment?
Well, it seems like for the last couple of penalties, as soon as it's expired, Eastern realized there was nobody in the box and thought it was a spot on the ice they had to fill. And no icing. Is Jelinek going to beat that one out? Dzurkis loses a skate. Put in from the top of the zone. Tipped down. And a stoppage as it's covered up by Baxter.
It looks like they're floating to Durkis. That time he was up front. So I think depending how they break out on their defensive pairings, I think sometimes we'll see Dom back there and then up front also. Quick shot by McGowan, just almost got tipped in by Lusk.
Eastern definitely putting the pressure on here with 5 skaters.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Lusk dodges a hit as 2 Utah Valley players collide. Down on the ice is Bolin behind the play. And that one slapped out of the air at the last moment by Vest. Big hit and a broken stick, I think. As it was McGowan that ended up on the ice for Eastern Washington.
I think they're going to get Porter for Utah Valley on that, Wyatt Porter. I'm not sure where they're going to get him on.
I didn't see what they called, but it is Porter going to take a seat in the sin bin for 2 minutes. Now Eastern Washington a chance on the power play. That shot off the glass all the way back to the Eastern Washington end of the ice. Pellerin taking his time, showing his patience, waiting behind the net. Takes a look down the ice, easily passes it off to White. White's got 2 black jerseys in front of him. He's going to try and leave that off for Leonov, but Jeff didn't skate with him. Pellerin now has one chasing. So it's 2 minutes for head contact for Porter. Pellerin now back behind his own net again. Murphy giving pressure on the penalty kill. That one off the wall to Lusk. Tries to play it up the near side. It's knocked off the puck. And now back to Knopp. Knopp goes across the ice. Lusk tries to handle it. Leonov now. Only one other black jersey in the zone. Leonov dumps that one in as Lusk battles for the puck. Dzurkis not able to hold it in. He's going to go to the far side. Jelinek brings it in. Blue line monster almost eats him up, but he's able to get it in and around. Kendall knocked down, and then here comes Dzurkis. Puck on the back post, now floating loose on the near side. Puck on both sides of the crease, but Eastern Washington can't put it on the net. I'm not sure that they registered an actual shot there as the puck back and forth about 6 times to the left and right of Baxter.
It just seemed like they were a little wide on each of that foray.
And Utah Valley has 1 second left on their penalty, but they're going to send another guy to the box here for a trip. 12:53 into this opening period, our 5th penalty of the night. This one will be Weissenberg, 2 minutes for a trip. So a quick 5-on-3 for Eastern Washington. If they can win this puck, there'll be lots of open ice to get a shot off, but it starts with winning the faceoff. This one back to the top of the zone. Lusk has it, thinks about it. Now to Pellerin. Out of the box, shot taken, deflected up and over the net. Still on the power play are the Eagles. This one right out front, knocked down from behind was Leonov. Now back up top to Pelly. Near side to White. White tries to keep it on the ice, bounces right to the stick of Nickish, but he can't get a handle on it. Back behind the goal now to Leonov. Up top again to Pellerin. Tries to go through traffic. That one's going to get tipped up and into the netting as Baxter looks over his left shoulder. 1:28 left on.
Well, Eastern's doing a nice job of their cycle game. They just haven't got that passing lane at the very last pass open for them. Utah Valley's done a nice job with that, but if Eastern can keep doing this, they're going to have some opportunities.
And now a foot race. Here comes Murphy. He's got Pellerin in front of him. Tries to get fancy with it and does get the shot off, but a good read by Anderson. And now he's got to hustle back as Eastern has numbers. White with it. He's going to try and take it all the way to the goal mouth, but instead it's Wadsworth's stick there. Pellerin playing a little bit of safety defense. He's going to head back to the bench now. Murphy sends it down the ice. Wadsworth plays it off of the wall. Shot taken in and out of the glove of Anderson.
I think it went off his face mask.
I think it might have there.
Because he
looking
shook
for
his
the
head.
windmill. Now Jelinek beating everybody out there. And what a save off the goal line by Baxter. I think that was Smith that came in at the very last second and tried to poke that home, but just couldn't get enough on it.
It was Smitty, and that was a nice job by Baxter to even, because he was sliding to his left and the puck was to his right. Nice job of getting his stick out there.
And you mentioned it, Gary, for a team that hasn't played more than 15 minutes against each other all season, it is pretty chippy already.
It is. You watch after the whistle blown, there's some extra stick work going on. Now, why, I don't know. They haven't played each other for, like, what, 2 years?
Yeah. You'd think that some of that animosity had fallen away. Jelinek with it now. Makes one man miss. Thinks about the pass. Finds Dzurkis on the back door. Dom looking to go 5-hole and just a bit too far off the ice. Smith comes in. Just gets a little bit too close to the netminder, and the Wolverines take exception to that.
I think the Wolverines got a major break there because the guy hit Smitty in the head. And
they're going to send Smitty to the box for this.
And they're going to send the other.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, it's matching, but I'm not sure that Smitty actually
did anything, to be honest with you.
They're gonna call Smitty for a rough, and I'm not sure that he actually touched anybody. You want to give him an unsportsmanlike, okay. But it'll be a 4-on-3 for 15 seconds. $14:39. Montgomery and Smitty both for rough.
Good little crowd here tonight, Tyler. Nice little crowd.
So they are going to go 5-on-4 rather, as they call another player off of the Utah Valley bench. Here comes Dzurkis. He's in the slot, backhands it over to Jelinek. Jelinek looking for Kendall. He's going to lift his foot, leave it for Dzurkis. A big shot on the top of the zone by Knopp. Kendall with it now. Goes to the far side, back of the net. Jared Jelinek for the Eastern Washington Eagles.
Outstanding job by Jelinek. He stayed with the play. He wasn't quite sure which way the puck was going to go, so he just snuck down to the right of Baxter, and the puck just laid right there for him, and he just buried it in the top shelf. Good job by Jelinek.
And just like that, the Eagles first to strike on their 11th shot of the night.
And you can't fault Baxter on that one. I mean, he was scrambling in there. Just a great job by Jelinek.
And the assist is going to go to Carson Kendall. His first point in his first home game here at Eastern Washington of 2026. White throwing his body around. Nickish didn't realize the puck had left the zone. And now Lusk trying to take it down the near wall. He's knocked off the puck. Back up top. That time to McGowan. And they're going to say no ice, so Boot has to chase it. And the back linesman definitely waved off that icing. And then the forward linesman ended up calling it, so they will take the icing. Come back down to the Utah Valley end of the ice. Face-off coming stick side of Baxter. Won by Utah Valley. Pellerin picks it up in his own zone, backhands it towards Bunch. He has it stuffed right back towards him. And now Becerra has it behind the net, looking for the wraparound. Good seal by Anderson. An opportunity by Merrill out front, but again, covered up by Riley Anderson.
I like what I saw there by the Eagles when Anderson was over to the far post to the Eagles. Arver and I think it was Bunch that went right off to the side of him. So they had a wall right in front of that net in case that puck bounced out. And that's good to see the players are moving around out there, not just standing.
Arver uses his size, separates the man from the puck, and here comes Kendall. That one close to an offside. And now back behind the play is Colia. That's where they go with it. Good angle by Pellerin. Colia separated from the puck again by Arver. Oh, 6'2" of number 2 for Eastern Washington. Dangerous puck out front. Bunch tries to pick it up. He can't get to it. Now booted out front by Anderson. Arver looks to play it ahead. Goes off the wall to Bunch. Bunch held up. Runs into the linesman. He can't get to the puck. Battle for the puck just outside of the UVU shoot. Eastern player down on the ice. Knopp and Weissenberg exchanging words at the top of the zone. That one's definitely going to be an icing with 2:44 left to play in this opening period.
Those two fellas were doing more than exchanging words. They were hammering on each other.
And here comes Tank. He's going to skate right to the face-off dot. Jaden Hofacker wins the face-off, gets it right over to Nickish. As Knopp stands up vest at the blue line. Slapped ahead. As Knopp and Weisenberg now. White on the far side. He's going to go back to the near side. Knopp trying to chase down that puck. They're going to call a penalty here on Knopp. They're going to get him for a cross check. The officials not letting anything go here in this first period.
You were watching that, and I was watching Tank go with another guy from Utah Valley. They were hammering on each other also. This game, I'm with you. I'm not sure why it's so chippy.
That the ninth penalty called in this opening period. Evenly spread out. Nobody's had 2 trips to the box yet. This one pushed up ahead to Weisenberg. He's going to take the shot from the far side, looking for that pass off the pads to Montgomery, but well-handled rebound by Anderson. Backdoor, top shelf. Braden Colea able to take advantage of Eastern Washington's 4th penalty kill. And 18-17 into this game. We are all knotted up again, courtesy of Braden Colea.
Well, nothing Riley could have done on that one. He was trying to slide over. That, to be frank with you, Eastern got a little lazy on that one, and they all went to the far left and left that whole near side open, and nobody skated back to him. Wide open shot for Utah.
The official not letting UVU change here before the faceoff. Minute 43 left in this opening period. We are all tied up at 1. This one to Jelinek. So that goal officially 18-17 of the first period. Colea from Montgomery.
It's been a strange game to me. You know, one team starts getting the momentum, then they lose it, then the other team gets it. And it's kind of choppy, yet then it turns into a smooth hockey game. It's just been a strange game tonight.
Utah Valley's coach, unhappy about something, was yelling at the official. But all is well over there now, at least for the moment.
That's what I like about you, Tyler. You're an eternal optimist right there.
I mean, he stopped yelling for the moment here. DeZerkis tried to feed that one back out to Jelinek with a little back pass. Jelly scored the opening goal in this contest. Now one over to Becerra. Near side back to Jelinek. Easy touch pass up to Smith. Smith finds DeZerkis behind the defense. DeZerkis, a rocket to the glove side of Braden Baxter.
Now that is Eastern hockey. It was anticipatory style. Smitty saw DeDurkis going. He waited just long enough. He was watched the whole time to see DeDurkis shoot across. Beautiful pass right on DeDurkis' stick, and he buried it. Excellent job by Smitty.
Take a look here at the replay. You can see just right there, the last second, just a rocket.
If we could back that up a little bit, if we possibly can, you can see how Smith kind of slows himself up, watching the whole time, waiting for DeDurkis to make that break. But outstanding job by Smith and DeDurkis.
We'll get that replay here at the next stoppage.
Because he anticipated DeDurkis breaking, and that's what I'm talking about. He was just waiting for him to do it. Outstanding job by both of them. And they needed that. They needed to get a little lift.
One touch pass over to Pellerin. That went in and out of the glove of a Utah Valley player. As here they come the other direction. Porter with it. Somehow finds the top corner over the glove of Riley Anderson. Inches to spare. And he puts it right where he needed it. 19:30. Let's take a look back at Eastern Washington's last goal.
Just watch how Smith just holds up a little bit toward the end. He looked the whole way for DeDurkis to break.
And found that space right where he expected him to be in between the traffic.
That was a tough break to get up a goal that quick, though, after they scored, because the crowd was really getting into it now. And you're right. That was weird. That was a tight shot that got in.
18 seconds later. And we'll see if we can get a replay of that second goal for Utah Valley at the end of this period before we throw it downstairs to Reagan. Arver using his big body. And that'll do it for the first period of action here in the ACHA in Cheney. As a total of 9 penalties called between these two teams. 4 goals, 2 for each. And let's take a look back at that last Utah Valley goal. You see it just fed straight up, and good defense by Eastern Washington, covering the center there. You expect the goaltender to make that save on the right side. Unfortunately, just not in the cards.
I think what happened, Anderson went down a butterfly, and the guy went up top shelf on him. I don't think he was expecting that.
And we're going to send it on downstairs to Reagan, who is standing by for our intermission interview with Jaden Hofacker. And unfortunately, it looks like we don't have any audio from them. Hey, it's good to see Jaden Hofacker back in Eastern Washington uniform down there.
It is.
Unfortunately, no audio from downstairs.
Well, you knew he was going to say something smart, though. That's what, that's unfortunate.
Well, we'll see if we can get him back for the next intermission. We will step away here with 17 and a half minutes left in this intermission. We'll be back with the second period of action between the Eagles and the Wolverines, all knotted at 2 here in Cheney.
We're having some technical difficulties. We're working on that right now. Tyler Pisani's all over it. Well, it was an interesting first period. Shots on goal, 14-13 in favor of Utah Valley. Tight game. It's just Eastern's having trouble developing momentum because of the penalties. Now Tyler's back from fixing that technical difficulty.
Gotta fix the internets.
Yeah. But what I was saying, Tyler, it was an interesting game. It's just Eastern. Every time they seem to get a little momentum, they take a penalty, and it was hard for them to build up from there. And then Utah Valley decided to take the same script, so they were having trouble developing momentum.
Yeah, 5 penalties for Eastern Washington in that first period, 4 for Utah Valley, both of them able to find the back of the net twice.
But I tell you, both goaltenders are playing extremely well. Anderson stood on his head, as has Baxter for Utah Valley.
And another huge save there by Riley Anderson.
Kicked that leg out there and got it out there. No harm, no foul on that one, but good heads-up play by him.
And they're going to call that an icing as Del Campo not able to catch up to that one. 27 seconds gone in this opening, or in this middle frame here in Cheney.
Well, I'm going to find it interesting. Utah Valley keeps going with Murphy, Kalea, and Best as their main force from what I can pick up for Utah Valley. One thing about Murphy, plays both forward and defense, but they've been using him just kind of like the Durkas for Eastern. Depending on what line's out there, he's either playing D or up front.
Yeah, he is listed as a forward. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. But you're right, he's kind of been everywhere. Seems like on the special teams, he's on the back end. Even strength, he's up front.
And I'm surprised, as talented as he looks, I'm surprised he doesn't have more points unless they put him back at D most of the year so far. Because he's skilled. That kid is a good hockey player.
And that one through traffic from the top of the zone. Walker Montgomery opening up the scoring here in this second period, just 44 seconds in. Anderson didn't even see that as it snuck just inside of his left post.
Well, it'd be interesting.
Good shot by Montgomery.
See if they give it to Montgomery. It almost looked like, which we don't have, number 14 for Utah Valley.
I believe that's number 4 on our rosters, Jake Hornberger.
I'm wondering if Hornberg didn't get a tip on that one. It'll be interesting to call on this one because he was right in front of Riley.
We'll get a replay on that here at the next stoppage.
They did give it to Montgomery.
So that goal officially 44 seconds of the second period. Montgomery from Colea.
And Baxter just made one huge save for Utah Valley. The Durkas came in all by himself, did a little toe drag to himself, tried to go up on top, and Baxter just smothered it.
You see that puck just right back up to the top of the zone and in.
And it looked, that's why I thought possibly.
I mean, with all of that traffic there, I'm surprised it didn't hit anybody.
Hornberger, it looked like the way he moved. That's why I thought maybe he got a tip. A good job by Montgomery.
Arver takes that one, rockets it over into the Zamboni corner. So that goal was Montgomery from Colea. The first goal of the game was Colea from Montgomery. So those two, bit of a tag team out there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Eastern responds now. This is what I want to see because they got to start gearing up for that Pac-8 tournament. And we'll see how they respond when it's being down right now.
Thrown out of the circle there. I believe that was Porter. That's who picks up the puck here at the blue line. Porter into the glove of Anderson. Good save there for Anderson to get back into the swing of things. That first save after the goal, always the toughest for a netminder. That one always feels good to catch it in your glove.
But that was a nice job by Arbor directing traffic. Actually, he was telling Miguel where he wanted him to go because he was going to take the other player, and that's when he shot it. If Arbor wouldn't have done that, he might have had a break, the Utah Valley player. Good job by Robbie to communicate. And good job by McGowan to realize what he was saying and picked it up.
Arver gets that one back in. Now still on the stick of Eastern Washington. Kendall with it. Arver taking a couple of steps in. He's there towards the top of the circle. He's going to go towards the goal mouth as Bunch takes his spot. Off of the glass behind the net, bounces back out front. Kendall has it for a minute, but now here come the Wolverines. That one pushed ahead by Del Campo. Deli battling, gets it over to Kendall. Kendall tries to make one man miss, loses the puck, looking for somebody out front. Can't get the puck any further than the near circle. Del Campo falls down, Kendall falls down in front of the Eastern chute. He's got it again, trying to feed it out front to Bunch. It's going to float up top to Knopp. Knopp on net, and Bunch there waiting for the rebound. None to come as Baxter swallows that one up.
Eastern's doing a good job of putting pressure on Utah Valley. They just can't get that shot off. If we saw two plays right there, great job of really forcing the mistake by Utah Valley. They just could not put the puck on net.
And they're looking for that backdoor pass or that pass out to the slot, and there's just not a black jersey there. And instead of taking the shot, they're kind of almost set in their ways of this is the play that I want to make regardless. And now here comes Eastern Washington the other way. Parker Wade, he feeds it out front. Waiting for it was Leonov, but he couldn't find the puck with his stick. Big hit behind the play. Now here comes Murphy all alone. Goes 5-hole on Riley Anderson, and just like that, Utah Valley doubles up their lead. 2 minutes, 57 seconds into this second period. We knew it was going to come from Murphy eventually.
Well, you got to give credit to Utah Valley. They've taken away the shooting lanes and passing lanes right now. They made an adjustment from the first period, and Eastern's got to figure out how they want to try to spread this out a little bit more. Maybe go on the outside of the dot, see if they can spread out Utah Valley a little bit more.
That goal officially 2:57 of the second period. Murphy from Traub. A huge hit on the far side of the ice. Absolutely blown up was Knopp, and now the puck headed back all the way down to the other side of the ice. He's a bit slow to get up, finally out of his own zone.
I think that was Montgomery that threw the hit.
And now Eastern looking to throw the body around. You can tell they're getting a little bit frustrated. McGowan battling down behind the net. He's going to push it over to the far side. Nickish can't catch up to it. Shot through traffic, read well by Anderson. Now Nickish flicks it ahead to Lusk. Lusk across the blue line. He's got to make the cut to the middle and is absolutely obliterated cutting towards the slot.
Well, we got some problems going on back here, too.
I'm not 100% sure. Okay, the net does look a little dislodged. I wasn't 100% sure why they blew the whistle there.
Well, Utah Valley's going in the box, and I think it's Best is going in because he was having problems in the back here. And then, like you said, the Eastern player got blown up in front of the net. Now
it looks like Waite going to go take a timeout. We'll see if we can get a replay of this here in just a second.
Well, it looked like Porter
let's
did
take
a
look at
foot.
this. Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. So the official's going to have a conversation out front. You can see the puck coming along. Here comes Lusk. He's going to cut across and just gets blown up right into the goalie. Two players take each other out, and Waite immediately goes in there. And I can see why he gets sent to the box. He went in there to stick up for Joel Lusk.
And kudos to Waite for doing it. I was trying to figure out there's a cross check coming up. Because while the play was going on by Utah Valley's net, I was watching the back.
They may be sending Waite back to the bench. And they are. So Eastern Washington, I will say, it looked like Waite probably did deserve a penalty there for coming in and sticking up for his player. But it looks like they're only going to call the cross check against Vest.
But I am surprised Vest didn't get a slew from back here because the play was over with. The referee was back there, and an Eastern player fell down, and you could see how Vest was skating that. He was expecting a whistle, actually, to be honest with you, and it didn't come.
No, and you always wonder if that plays into the official's decision to only send one player to the box. You can either give him a double minor and a minor to Eastern, or you just give the one minor to the Wolverines. But either way, Eastern Washington now a chance to dig into this lead. What a save by Baxter as that poke shot from at the top of the crease.
And he went right to left.
DeZerkis bouncing puck out front. Baxter really impressive through the first 25 minutes of this contest. DeZerkis sends it in over to the far side, having to give chase as Smith. Murphy, a thorn in the side of Eastern Washington. He's going to get to the puck first. Now a battle for it. Falling down, gets it out in front to Smith. That was Kendall that was able to get it there. Now, nice and casual back to DeZerkis, and it looks like Eastern Washington going to get sent to the box. A high stick, maybe that'll be for Knopp. I didn't see him anywhere near the play. The official now having a conversation with DeZerkis. He was all back by himself. I'm not even sure what he could have done to get the warning from the official. The fans here unhappy with this one. Boos raining down as Caleb Knopp takes his first home penalty for the Eagles for a high stick. So just like that, penalty power play over. We'll go 4-on-4 for 108 and then 52 seconds of power play time for Utah Valley.
But if you notice, the last two penalties have been behind the play. It hasn't been in the action. It's been almost action when the whistle's blown it dead. So this game is really taking on a strange twist.
That penalty number 11 of this game, almost averaging one every 2 minutes.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind Utah Valley's made a change. They're really blocking out the passing, shooting lanes, and they're taking the body this period compared to the first period.
And this one, Eastern Washington drew up this faceoff as it went straight back around the backside of the net. And as soon as that happened, Lusk was taking off down the ice. He was ready. Big hit behind the play, but now a bouncing puck. Dangerous as Anderson was off of his post. Back out into the neutral zone. With it is Hornbarger. He's going to feed it over to the far side. Now near side to Traub. Traub has it taken off of his stick, and now here comes Eli Nickish. He loses it at the blue line as Utah Valley looking to build out of their own end. Onto the stick of Tierney. Mack gets it over to Lusk. He flips it back. Now up ahead to Nickish. He's going to touch it up at the blue line, and Eastern Washington going to get some fresh skates before the Utah Valley penalty expires. Now an opportunity here for Del Campo. He leaves it off for Jelinek. Jelinek into the midsection of Baxter. Now Del Campo back to Jelinek. Jelinek has weight up top. As taken down in front of the net was Del Campo. Turn, fired, puck just out of the reach of Del Campo. Good stick lift by Deli, allowing Boot to put that one on net. Dangerous pucks in dangerous positions for Eastern Washington, but they just can't put the puck on the net. 25 seconds left on the power play for the Wolverines. Boot going to send that one along the glass, and now Jelinek has to go chase. Baxter going to send it to Murphy on the far side. Special teams quarterback bringing it up the near side. He scored the last goal for Utah Valley. He's got it again, looking to take it goalward. Tries to send it back. That one off of a player high into the air. This one pushed ahead. Just behind Smitty as he tries to get to the blue line. Instead, has to chase the puck again. Couple of swings by Eastern Washington. Puck still on the stick of a white uniform. Just barely keeping it in was Panis. And now a 3-on-1 opportunity for the Eagles. DeZerkis thinks about it, fires it, and falling backwards with the glove save is Baxter. His 20th save of the night. And what a beauty it was.
I know one thing. It'll be interesting to see how Eastern responds. There is no question in my mind. Utah Valley's decided to come out and hit them. And they've been really putting the body on him. And right now, Eastern's going to have to respond to that because Utah Valley, every opportunity they get, they're hitting an eagle.
And they're doing a good job of stopping those shots before they get to the net. Not quite shot blocks, but enough of the puck off of the stick of Eastern Washington to prevent their netminder from having to make a whole lot of saves.
Or they're angling it really well, and that's why they're not getting that clean shot. So they're actually moving Eastern out of the way, and so that's why they don't really have to block it because they're doing a nice job of veering them off the puck. But I thought for a minute after that hit Lust did that sparked Eastern a little bit, and then Utah Valley came right back and started use the body again. It's kind of slowed them down a little bit, but they've done a great job of taking the passing lanes away.
Neither team really seems like they're able to build momentum. It's a lot of play in the attacking zone for 15, 20 seconds and then back down to the other side of the ice doing the same thing.
It's real choppy right now, especially in the O zone, that they just can't corral it.
Here comes Del Campo. He's got a spot pick. That spot was the shoulder of Baxter. Tries to slap that one into the goal. And I'm not sure how they call a hand pass on that when it bounced off of Del Campo's hand off of the goalie and then back to Del Campo. But that is what will happen. So we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. Head coach Joe White saying the same thing I did. He's trying to understand how that was a hand pass.
I don't know, but I was impressed with Del Campo, how he went in on that. He finally broke free on it, did a nice job of shooting, but Baxter's played extremely well this second period. He had a good first, but, man, this second period, he's on it. He's got a real quick glove hand if you watch how he does it, and that's how he snagged that one from Dudurkas. Really, really quick glove hand. Even when he goes down on the butterfly, he's not afraid to use his glove at all.
Face-off won by Utah Valley, but Dawson Bunch going to chase that down into the corner. Carson Kendall can't get a hold of that one. Finally gets it on net. Eastern Washington going to go to the box again for a penalty away from the play. Long skate to the bench goes Baxter. Now pushing the center of the zone. It'll be a high stick, this time on Del Campo. Eastern Washington back-to-back high sticks. So on 8:42 of the second period. Well, actually, it'll be Robbie Arver for a high stick. Honestly, for him, that's kind of unfair. A high stick is just waist high, really, when you're that big.
Well, especially when it went into a smaller player. Yeah. It's like it's
one of those big guy penalties, but Eastern Washington going to have to kill it off. Tierney wears that one off the chest. A little unhappy about that. Shaking it off behind the play.
I think this is an extremely important penalty kill for the Eagles right now. The way Baxter's playing, they got to shut this down.
One push back to the top of the zone. Hornberger now on the far side. That one down low. First player to it is Weissenberg. Back to Hornberger. Now to Murphy. Backhand pass near side. Two big leg saves by Anderson. Eastern needs to clear out in front of the net as Anderson having to make a lot of close range saves. Nickish, a deke there, lets the puck just float into the neutral zone. Heady play by the Eagle forward.
Another adjustment I've seen Utah Valley make is they're making Eastern chase them. But first period, Eastern wasn't doing that, and that's why they had trouble.
Another big save by the leg of Riley Anderson, but another shot that shouldn't have happened. Eastern Washington just letting them float free out front. Here comes Pellerin. He's got one man between him and the net. And good glove save again.
Well, that's part of that chase
by Baxter.
To be frank with you, Utah Valley's done a great job of adjusting going into the second period. Not only clogging up the passing lane, shooting lane, but they're using the body, and now they're having Eastern chase them. They've done a great job this second period.
Kendall wins that down into the corner. Backhand towards Del Campo, but Vest going to cut it off. Now back behind him. Eastern still on the penalty kill. Has a good dump all the way down the ice. Hits the stick of Panis. Panis with it again. He's going to bring it up across the blue line now. And took one too many lateral steps. Traub thought that he was going to cut it in, so he took his cut and just a step too early. So a faceoff coming just outside the zone. 14 seconds left on Robbie Arver's minor penalty. Smith wins that back for Eastern Washington. Over to Knopp. Former Spokane Brave can't bring it across the blue line. Now ahead to Jelinek. Jelinek tries to make one more pass. Can't get there. He's put into the wall. Good job shielding the puck with his body against a bigger player. Battle for the puck in the corner. Still moving, says the referee. Smith going to get in there, get low, and push the players out of the way. Puck still moving. Good job by Jelinek in there, keeping it in between his skates. And now finally heading the other direction as Boston Vest. What a move there by Del Campo, as Jelinek not able to catch up to that one. It could have been a highlight reel play there. That's going to go down the length of the ice and get touched up by Knopp. 8:33 left in this second period as Eastern back to full strength.
Well, that was a great job by Smitty and Jelinek to find back there. It's unfortunate they couldn't get that puck out because they would have had somebody open for Eastern, because the way Utah Valley was defending it, they had two other players down low, is just couldn't get the puck out to anyone.
We've got Hofacker back on the ice, lined up at the face-off dot, wearing the number 4, up to the top of the zone, boot, a swing, and mostly missed there on the slap shot from the point. Good kick save. As now Eastern potentially with numbers heading the other way. Hofacker on the left side. He's going to try and send it netward. Has that one knocked away. Out front again. Backhand. Hofacker looking to battle out front. Still scrappy at the top of the crease. Boot down the near wall. Tries to feed it over to Nickish. Nickish gets just enough of it to get it to Leonov. Hofacker having to battle over into the corner. Hofacker using his body now. Loses his skates, but stays with the puck. Leonov now using his body. Now Hofacker put into the wall. He's still together with the defenseman. That one out into the neutral zone. Taken away by the Eagles. That one's offside as it comes back across. It's McGowan just waiting there, and he's run into by Porter. And lets him know this is my piece of ice, friend.
Well, Porter definitely likes to throw the body, and he looks like he's capable of doing it, but Hofacker was very impressive on that. I mean, he was using his body every which way, and you're not going to move him out front of that net. He took both the defensemen from Utah Valley, and they were having fits with him. The kid's just stout. That's why I nicknamed him Tank.
The officials really keeping an eye on the changes here for Utah Valley.
Actually, I think the officials have called a good game right now. It's been kind of chaotic.
Chaotic is a good word for this on a Friday night here in early January. This one pushed up ahead, slapped down. Eastern Washington offsides, has to reset. They're able to, but puck still back to the Wolverines. Lusk feeds it near side to Wait. Wait trying to find it in between the legs of a Wolverine. Looks like that was Montgomery. Got down on one knee and kind of smothered the puck back towards his netminder. His weight was right on top of that one. 24 shots apiece, 2 goals to 4 goals, 24 across the board. Eastern Washington going to look to change that. Up top now to Tierney. Mack puts that on net. Good read by Baxter. This one pushed up ahead to the neutral zone. Peller and one touch to Tierney. 17 back to 27. That one's a hand pass off of the glove and pushed ahead. So face-off coming in the neutral zone. Lusk looking for it on the other side of the neutral zone. But it'll still stay on the Eastern Washington end of safe ice. One back to Del Campo. This one pushed up ahead. Bunch has it, touches his stick, over to Kendall. Kendall floats it towards the goal mouth, but not enough on it to get it over to Arver, who is waiting out front. Arver still battling out front as here comes Murphy up the near side for the Wolverines. Utah Valley enters the zone, still on the stick of Murphy. Down below the goal line, he falls down as he crosses that red line. Pushed up ahead, Arver trying to get his stick to it, not enough. As a turnaround shot. Now a chance for Robbie Arver.
Now we're going to have a problem.
As losing his helmet is Montgomery.
Well, Montgomery took a pretty big run at an Eastern player, and Del Campo really took a exception. He came darting in there, and they got a scrum going on there. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to call on Montgomery on that one, but he just blew up an Eastern player, and it was definitely, there's no question it was a charge. And Knopp is going in. I'm not sure why he's going in.
So Eastern Washington going to get double penalized here. And we'll see if they give Montgomery 2 penalties as well, because there was a penalty that happened before the scrum. The official's arm was in the air as Arver was coming down the ice. It was very clearly on Utah Valley because Arver had the puck on his stick.
Yeah, I can see why Del Campo went in, because he went charging after Montgomery on that one. There's no doubt. Now they're chirping it on the box right there. So I can see why he is, but I'm still not sure why Knopp got called.
I mean, Knopp was in there as well with Del Campo, but I'm not sure that he was in there quite to the same level.
No, Del Campo darted in there, and I give him kudos on that one. Knopp, I think you're right. I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting on this call. I know one thing I would love to see Eastern start doing this is putting traffic in front of Baxter. You know, kick Arver right in front of him, make him move, see if you can get him off his stride.
Well, and he is reading the puck really well from anywhere that it's shot. He's got great vision through traffic. I think that's what's frustrating Eastern Washington so far.
And the best way to stop that is just go ahead and even if you have to put a couple people in there.
And Kendall having some words with the Utah Valley bench.
Yeah, the whole bench. So,
I mean, knowing what I know about Carson, he'll take on that whole bench any day of the week.
Well, and Arver's over there looking now too, so I don't know.
That was Ferenc and Becerra that he was talking to. So they are only going to give the 1 penalty. This is an interesting penalty call because
unless they went with third man in,
which makes sense, but the penalties were not concurrent. Montgomery had a penalty prior to that scrum.
Right.
So I'm not sure why they're giving them coincidental minors, but as it is, Eastern Washington on the penalty kill. With just under 6 minutes to go in this second period, they've really got to kill this penalty. And another leg save by Anderson. His leg pad's getting a workout tonight. And top of the zone, Colia gets his second.
The penalty thing right there, I would love to hear an explanation on what they were doing.
So the penalty on Montgomery is a charge prior to the scrum happening. That the fifth goal.
Well, they gave Knopp a high stick on his penalty.
It looks like they gave them both a rough.
Well, I was looking at the score sheet, and one was a high stick, but I'm still baffled with it.
It was an interesting series of events, but as it is, Eastern now down by 3 to a team that hasn't won a game all season. You know, the head coach, Joe White, in the locker room is not going to be a happy camper.
Well, he's going to have to make some adjustments and see if he can get Utah Valley spread out. And one, Eastern's got to quit chasing them, and they're going to have to respond to the way Utah Valley's taking the body now. They've from the start of this period, they've decided just to use the body.
That goal officially 14:27 of the second period. Colia from Hornbarger on the power play.
Well, you can see their main offense. There's 4 or 5 guys off Utah Valley Eastern's really got to pay attention to. But I think if Eastern can get them spread out a little bit more so they have some of the shooting lanes again, I think that's what's really hurting them right now. Utah Valley has them pinched in, and they got to try to spread them out a little bit. And you can't fault Anderson on the 5 goals. He's played outstanding, and Baxter's
He has made some incredible saves. So those shots from distance that seem to be his kryptonite tonight, and that's just a matter of Eastern Washington stopping the puck in the 50 feet before it gets to his net. Delayed penalty coming against Utah Valley. Eastern Washington almost on the back door as Nickish is tripped up by the netminder.
That was almost a nice tip, though. Nice play by Lusky. Saw Nickish breaking in. He kicked it over. And good job by Eli to even get that tip attempt on there.
Well, now it'll be an interference called on Henry Wadsworth. So Eastern Washington on the power play. And I hate using the term must convert, but at this point, they've got to at least put pressure on Baxter and keep the puck in the attacking end after giving up 2 power play goals this period.
Yeah, they're going to have to put just a ton of pressure. They might have to pinch down to D-man a little bit, get some opportunities.
Kendall hit hard in front of the net. He ran into DeZerkis, and now Kendall grabbing his knee. This is not what you want to see if you're an Eastern Washington fan or player. They signaled for it immediately as Kendall hit the ice. They end up blowing the play dead in the neutral zone. Trainers out there for Eastern Washington. Get him up on his feet. They're going to get him directly to the locker room. That's never good.
No,
especially that quickly. You could, as a player, you could feel if there's something wrong or if there's something really wrong.
We'll try to get a report on that, but he's putting no weight on that right leg right now.
Well, and with as quickly as they called the training staff over, called the official over, you almost think the worst. You don't want to, but when it's that obvious that he's in pain and that something happened, players know their bodies better than anybody.
Well, I'll give Utah Valley credit on that one, too. They were waving for the trainer to come out there. One of their players was talking to Kendall, so that was a class act by the Wolverines.
That'll be a big loss for Eastern Washington. As Kendall responsible for 23 points this season. Pellerin going to send that in and around the back. Leonov going to give chase. Pellerin keeps it in to Wade on the far side. Bouncing puck onto the back door. Lusk trying to find it. And again, another shot blocked by Utah Valley on the way to the net. Pellerin holds on to it, gets it down low. Lusk can't hold on to it, and now back to Murphy. Murphy, one touch pass ahead, this time over to Kalia. He's already got 2. And just like that, he finds his third. Kalia, have yourself a night, my friend. A shorthanded goal, 16:33 into the second period.
We might look at that one. I think it tipped off of an Eastern player on there because the way Anderson responded, he thought it was going to go low, and then all of a sudden it went in the top shelf. That was a tough break on that one.
As we were saying, Eastern Washington needed to keep the puck on the other end of the ice, but now giving up a shorty.
Well, you mentioned it, though, earlier, how Utah Valley's really blocking shots really well, and that's how it all started on that one. Eastern took a shot, took a block off, then all of a sudden it's 3-on-1. And you got to give Utah Valley a lot of credit on that one. They've definitely made some good adjustments this period.
And we'll get a replay of that here at the stoppage. Here comes DeZerkis. He's got Arver in the center, bouncing puck out front. DeZerkis gets a second shot on net. And Murphy getting the assist on that one. So officially 16:37. Kalia from Murphy. Puck out front, again covered up by Baxter. Shots are relatively even between these two teams. 27 for Eastern Washington, 28 for Eastern Washington, 26 for Utah Valley. Let's take a look back at that last goal.
As you can see on that one, just how Anderson responded, how he went down, and all of a sudden it shot up over his shoulder, and that's why I'm wondering if it didn't tip off of the.
It did look like it took a weird angle in there. Knopp with it. Pushes it up to Jelinek. Jelinek across the ice to Smith. Stole one from DeZerkis, but still able to get it into the zone. Jelinek with it now. Back up to Knopp. Knopp fires it off the mark, looking for something from distance into the skates of Smith. He's able to get enough of it to get it back to Arver behind the goal. Now along the wall to DeZerkis. DeZerkis makes one man miss. Into the midsection and straight into the glove of Baxter.
You said a little earlier, if Baxter has any chance of seeing the puck, nothing's going to go by him. That's why I keep going to run some traffic in front of him.
And that time, Arver was out front. He was having a battle with Montgomery.
He was. Montgomery did a nice job. You notice how he moved Arver to Baxter's right, and that opened up that little lane where he could see the puck. But you're right. At least they're. But now they have to really make sure they're blocking his vision. But you hit it on the head. Arver was there. It's just a nice job by the Utah Valley player to just push Arver further enough out of the way where Baxter can pick up the puck.
When Baxter's got just such good positioning that even if he can't see the puck, there's a pretty decent chance that he's going to be there anyways. Yeah,
I can't believe with him and net they haven't won a game this year. I'm finding that unbelievable.
Vest puts it ahead. Another big save by Anderson. And now a Utah Valley player landing on top of Riley. Riley had that one saved with his toe.
Great job of stretching out that leg to stop that puck because that was rolling in.
We'll have a face-off coming to Anderson's stick side.
Well, there's definitely going to have to be some adjustments. They're going to have to make some gambles in that third period. Try to put some more pressure, get the unforced turnovers that they can. Just put a lot of heat on Utah Valley.
Would go a long way if they were able to find the back of the net here late in this one. Waite has it, trying to feed it out front. Both players sucked too far to the near side. A good pass out to the slot by Waite, but nobody there. As Utah now coming the other direction. Nickish down the ice. That's where the puck goes, but catches him in the skates. And Eastern Washington having to reset. Now back to Nickish. He's going to tip it in. He's got a chase now against Montgomery, who plays it across the zone. Pushed up now to Soto. He gains the blue line along the right side. Feeds it out front, up and over the top of the net by Becerra. Soto in the corner, battling with it. It's pushed ahead to Lusk. He sees a man out in the center. It's Nickish again. Lusk gives chase. He's put into the wall behind the net, dislodged from the puck. Lusk taking a beating out there, but able to get back to the puck. Now Smith to Lusk. And another block on the way to the net. That one off of the post, off the back of Baxter and into the goal. What a shot by Caleb Knopp.
That was a good job by Knopp to even follow that through. And that might give them some life. The crowd, that woke them up. That might be what Eastern needs to do going in that third period.
And we'll get that replay here at the intermission.
Well,
it's right here.
Well, I like to see Knopp didn't give up on that one. He kept charging in.
So just like that, Eastern cutting into the goal or to the deficit.
And that might go a long ways to give Eastern some life on that one because they've been kind of lackluster this second period.
Now 34 seconds as they're looking to do it again. Jelinek had the assist on the last goal. Finds a spot and a good save by Baxter. That last goal officially 19-12 of the second period. Knopp from Jelinek.
Outstanding job by Jelinek right there, too. But you got to give a lot of credit to Henry Wadsworth for Utah Valley. He didn't quit. He kept skating, and he caught up a little bit. And he made Jelinek shoot a little bit early, which surprised because Jelinek, man, he's quick.
And that was Knopp's first goal in an Eastern Washington uniform. This one sent back down the ice, circling in his own zone as Wadsworth again. DeZerkis has Smith on the back post, ends up on the near post. It's easily handled by Baxter. And that'll do it for this period as Eastern Washington gives up 3 goals but is able to get one back late. The two teams head into the break with Utah Valley 3-goal lead, 6-3, doubling up Eastern through the first 40 minutes. The Eagles heading to the locker room for a reset and hoping for a big third period here in Cheney. We'll step away. We'll be back with the third period of action between the Eagles and the Wolverines here in Cheney on a Friday night. Friends and family, welcome back to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for what is sure to be an exciting third period here in Cheney, a one-off game between the Eagles of Eastern Washington and the Wolverines of Utah Valley University. And it has been pretty much all Wolverines for the last 20 minutes. They were able to put 3 goals behind Eastern Washington netminder Riley Anderson in that second period. 2 power play goals in the game for them. Eastern Washington able to score late in that second period, hoping that momentum will carry over into the third. My name's Tyler Pisani, joined as always by Gary Allen. And Gary, it's been an interesting 40 minutes. 18 penalties and all sorts of excitement. Eastern Washington losing Carson Kendall to an injury in the middle of that second period.
Well, I think one thing I give a tip of the cap to Utah Valley, they did a huge adjustment between the first and second. They decided to have Eastern chase them for 1. 2, they decided to go to the body, and they did a great job of doing that and blocking up all the passing lanes and shooting lanes. There's a net, and there again.
Lusk is blown up after he gets rid of that puck.
That was by Montgomery, who he's been throwing his body all night, and it's working really well, and Eastern's got to respond to it. I think Eastern's going to have to put some pressure on Utah Valley by pinching in their defense and trying to see if they can get some unforced turnovers. And they're just going to have to go all out on it. They're going to have to respond to Utah Valley's use of the body. That really helped Utah Valley in that second period to build that lead. You got to give credit to Baxter, Braden Baxter, the netminder for Utah Valley. But again, Riley Anderson's done a great job for Eastern. Eastern's just got to get back, spread Utah Valley out, and take some shots.
Back with the puck again. It only took Utah Valley 44 seconds to score in that second period. We've passed that mark here in this period. Eastern out shooting Utah Valley 32-27.
Well, Eastern has the offense to get some points on the board. They have just got to try to spread Utah Valley out.
And another blocked shot by Utah Valley. I'd venture to guess, and what a shot there as it comes in and out of the near post. But I'd venture to guess that Utah Valley has probably blocked as many shots with their players as Baxter has in the net.
Well, you picked that up in the middle of the second period, just how Utah Valley decided they're going to try to cut down on any shots by Eastern, and that's by putting their body in front of the puck.
And Hofacker a little frustrated on the back end of that play. As that one's dumped back in. Tank now on a mission. Going to use the body there. That one pushed back towards the goal mouth.
And I still go back to what we talked about in the second. Nice job by Hofacker. They're going to give him a penalty.
And both officials put their arms in the air. I assume that this one's going to be a boarding just based on the quickness that they called that. But the one official had been watching Hofacker for that entire shift, kind of looking for something.
Yeah, because
and they're going to call that a board, 158 into the third.
He took exception to the Utah Valley player, and you're right. That one referee kind of was trying to circle with him. But,
I mean, at least there's proof that Jaden Hofacker was here tonight. He's on the score sheet now.
I would love to see Eastern put just a ton of traffic in front of Baxter. Send 2 people in front of him. Try to get him off his game and take some gambles in that way. Sure, there's a risk to it, but you might be able to sneak a puck in on him.
Well, I mean, I think that's the only way that you're going to get past him with some of these deep shots, because he's reading the puck really well, and what he doesn't see, he's in a really good position to take.
And Eastern has taken a lot of long-range shots in this game.
Nick Ish casually back into the neutral zone, taking a spot as White, but Murphy up the far side. He brings it in, turns around, fires it across the ice. Dangerous puck out front, turned away. Murphy with it again, kicked away again by Anderson. Eastern needs to clear the front of the net, and now here comes Boot on Parnes. Murphy with it again, off the wall. Parnes down into the corner, back up top to Murphy. At the point, thinks about it. Holds on to it, backhands it across the zone, top of the circle, wide of the net. Near side to Hornbarger. He's going to go over to the far side now to Colia. He's got 3 tonight. That one behind the net. Boot sends that one up and out, and Colia going to have to give chase all the way into his own end.
That was a great job by Pellerin to get his body in front of that shot.
Good block there. And Utah Valley taking all the time in the world. They don't need to score on this power play. They just need to waste this clock. As we said before, Wolverines winless this season. This would go a long way for them in building up for the second half of the year for them.
Well, I think that's what kind of is frustrating for Eastern. They have the offensive skill to put points on the board. From Baxter's just shooting them down, and that's starting to weigh on Eastern. You can kind of tell when they take a shot, he makes a great save, just kind of how they're hanging their head. They got enough offense if they can get that next goal fairly quick and get some more life in their offense. They definitely have the skill to put the puck in. Right now, Baxter's just saying, no, you're going to have to try to beat me.
Well, we saw Utah Valley score 3 goals in that last period, so it is not impossible in this building. But Eastern Washington, as you said, is going to have to score quickly.
Well, that's where I like to see traffic in front of Baxter. See if you can get him off of his sight line and see if you can make him move a little bit. Because you hit it right on the head. Even when he doesn't see it, everybody has him lined up really well, so he knows his body's in position to knock the puck down.
Dump down. Nickish tries to pick it up. Jelinek follows him. Goes all the way back to Knopp on defense. He's got Del Campo in the center. Del Campo surveys the ice, sees Jelinek up the near side, but it's picked off by Montgomery on the way. Now looking to go to the other side. Lusk can't hold on to it. He's going to send it down into the corner. Still with the heavy forecheck pressure. Lusk able to win the puck for a moment, at least tie up the man and give his team a chance to get some fresh skates, not just on the ice, but back into the zone. This one out front to Waite. Waite tried to touch it up for Lusk. Now Lusk falls down behind the net. Back to DeZerkis. And Pellerin towards his own end. Over to the far side now to Boot. Boot, a high dump. And just doesn't get underneath it enough, and it'll float across the end line, and we'll head back down into the shadow of the scoreboard. 14:50 left on the clock.
And you can tell the fans in here, and they're a good crowd here. They're just on edge. They want to see Eastern get on the board. And by the way, it was great to see some of the veterans come back. I saw Sam Thompson, Carew was here, Frank Flood, and Asa Cheney. It was great seeing Asa. I was wondering what happened to him all year. He's here tonight in the building. I guess he moved down to Bend, Oregon. Great seeing him. I really like that kid with the time he spent here with Eastern.
Him and Shane Smith on this team became best friends, and sounds like they've continued that as both of them down in Central Oregon now.
I didn't know Shane moved down there. I heard he was thinking about it.
Yeah, he's down there coaching at their little ODR downtown.
Oh, good for him. But again, you mentioned it like in the middle of November, just how much the culture is being built here. And a lot of the veteran former players are coming out to watch and root on the current Eags. So it's good to see that.
This one up ahead to DeZerkis. He makes one-man miss, still has the puck and has it poked away at just the last second.
Parnes did a nice job on that one.
And this time, DeZerkis blocking the shot on the offensive end. And then kicked away again by Utah Valley. Coming ahead now is Colia. Chopped back into the corner. Out front. Another save by Anderson off of the shot from Vest. Tierney takes the wrong line. That one will scoot out into neutral ice. And you talked about it, Gary. Eastern needs to start throwing the body, but it almost feels like they're doing the opposite here in this period, kind of moving away from the hits, trying to play a little bit more finesse on defense.
And that's actually was the word I was thinking of. They went to a finesse game, which isn't really the Eastern style. But again, they got to spread Utah Valley out. They're just, Utah Valley has them bunched in.
You see it here, instead of taking the body, giving some space there on defense, now sending it across. Now chopped back behind. As Vest sends it goalward. Tierney uses a stick to poke that one away.
Now, in defense of the Eagles, I don't know if they thought, if they watched the Cougars play Utah Valley last night, that, okay, we can go with a finesse game against them and win the game that way. But by now, going into halfway through the third period, they may want to try to say, okay, we're going to have to change up a little bit. But that's my only thought, because they're definitely playing a finesse style of game tonight.
Well, and at this point, Utah Valley is just bullying the Eagles. And here comes Hofacker back out there. He's not afraid to throw the body, but
No.
behind the play again. And they're going to call a slash on Leonov. But behind the play, Utah Valley a little pushing and shoving next to the official. No call as the play was moving back down the ice. And Eastern doesn't retaliate at all in terms of physicality. Instead, it's a stick penalty that's going to send a player to the box. 7:43 of this third period. It'll be Leonov for a slash.
And quite frankly, I missed Leonov's slash on that one because I was watching Hofacker bury his guy. So I did not see exactly what transpired on that.
You see Nickish out there chasing the puck, but not laying the body.
And one thing about Eli Nickish, he doesn't quit. And that kid goes 100 miles an hour the whole time. Doesn't matter what the score is. I don't even know if he even looks at the score. That's just his style of game, and he's very effective with it.
And a takeaway here by Waite. Makes one man miss. Forehand, backhand, top shelf over the shoulder of Baxter for a short-handed goal.
That was an outstanding play by Mr. White right there. Unbelievable. He made two Utah Valley players just look foolish, for lack of better words, on that one. And he took it. And I think Baxter thought he was going to go low, so he kind of went down early, buried backhand up in the top shelf. Nice job by him. This might kick him into gear. The fans got into it now. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can score within the next 2 minutes.
Well, we'll take a look here at this replay at the next stoppage, but a shorthanded goal for Eastern Washington pulls them within 2. And they're going to give Parker that goal unassisted because he just took it right off of the Utah stick, beat 2 players, and walked it in.
Yeah, looked like
great effort by Parker out there.
Took it out of the neutral zone that he took it from the Utah Valley player.
And Eastern's got to stay vigilant here and kill off this penalty if they want a chance here in the remaining 10 minutes of the game.
But that's a great point. What I was trying to say, Eastern has the offensive skill to do this. They just got to get on it.
This one up ahead. As the goalie comes out, Nickish, instead of chasing, he's going to go back to the bench and reset. Waiting behind Eastern Washington is Vest. He was waiting at the blue line. Now Utah Valley just going to take their time. Bunch going to force the issue. Now it goes to the far side. Barnes fires that one off of the end wall. Looking to go near post. Good seal by Anderson. And out of the box comes Leonov. This one pushed up ahead to Bunch. Bunch, forehand, looking for it. 5-hole, and he does it. Eastern Washington, just like that, pulls within 1.
Bunch did an outstanding job, but also Jelinek, if you watch him, we'll get that on the replay. He was the decoy. There was a 2-on-0, and Jelinek did a great job of keeping going down there. Goalie wasn't sure which guy was going to get the puck, and Bunch buried it.
So let's take a look back at the first goal here, the one from Parker Waite.
He just schooled Utah Valley players. Now Eastern's coming out throwing the body.
That goal officially 9:51 of the third period. Bunch from Jelinek. Eastern Washington able to pull within one, and they get a save there from the post. Riley Anderson better thank his best friend. That one off of the post and then died right next to him. He was able to cover it up.
What Anderson did a good job of it. Hit at the top of the post, and it came straight down, and Anderson used his head and just jumped on. A good job by him not panicking. But if you notice down the last 2 minutes, Eastern's picked up the physical game now. They're hitting everything that's moving, and that's freeing them up a little bit, and that's part of getting Utah Valley spread out.
Good pass ahead by Hofacker. Bunch now with it down in the corner. Utah Valley getting in their own way. That one pushed out towards the net. Hofacker battling in front of the goal. This one dangerous in the slot. Now here comes Utah Valley the other way, and every single time Robbie Arbor hits somebody, the official's hand goes in the air. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do if you're 6'2", playing against somebody that's 5'8".
If we can get that replay on that, I have absolutely no idea.
Let's take a look back at the goal first.
Call. Not at all. That was a clean hit.
What are you going to do if you're 6'2"?
Well, he said head contact.
That's what I'm saying. Robbie Arbor just put his hand straight out in front of his body, but here's that goal. You can see Jelinek crashing the near post, pulled the goalie off a bit, and Dawson Bunch able to find the back of the net.
Where's this Eastern team been for the last 2 periods? Now they're playing their brand of hockey, and they got Utah on the back of their skates right now because they got Utah chasing them now because they're starting to use the body and they're starting to pass a little bit better, and that's kind of spreading Utah out, which the passing lanes open up. Eastern's playing a very good style right now.
So at the next stoppage here, we will get a replay of that hit from Arver that led to the penalty. Eastern Washington on the penalty kill.
Yeah, I would like to see that again because that was a strange call. But
it just seems like anytime Robbie Arver hits somebody today, he's going to the box. And I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do if you're a player that's bigger. I understand it kind of at the youth levels, right, where that discrepancy isn't quite so obvious.
Now Eastern's throwing their body around. They're doing a great job now.
Waite gets tackled behind the play, feet from the official. No call there. And now another push by Utah Valley.
Well, we'll see what happens with Montgomery because that whistle was blowing.
So let's take a look back at this Robbie Arver hit on the replay.
And Montgomery's going in the box.
You can see there, I'm not sure what Robbie Arver's supposed to do.
I don't either. He's right there. There was no head contact. I'm sorry, but I mean, if anything, he hit him in the shoulder. But Mr. Montgomery decided to even this up right now. So Eastern's doing a great job because, one, they're going back to their style. They're hitting people, they're opening it up, and they're spacing Utah Valley out, and they're getting some great opportunities, and they're getting some life, and the crowd's getting into it now too.
Well, this is the game that Eastern Washington needs to play.
Well,
it's what's worked for them.
This is a game we're used to seeing them play in the last 5 minutes. And it's working for them right now. They got Utah Valley on the back of their stick. There's another big hit by Lusk. I don't know if the coaching staff on the bench told them, hey, fellas, we're going to have to open this up. We're going to start hitting them because it's working for them right now. They got Utah Valley scrambling. This, Tyler, is the Eastern team I'm used to because this is a great style for them. And this game is far from over right now. Eastern's definitely building up momentum.
We got 4-on-4 hockey for another 44 seconds and then 1 minute of power play time for Eastern Washington after that. The Eagles looking to throw that body, even Jelinek out there. On the far side is Parnes. He loses that stick, and the Eagles back down the ice. Del Campo fires that one into the blocker of the netminder, and some more pushing and shoving out front of the net.
Nice shot by Del Campo. He did a good job of going in, and the goaltender, I think he picked up the Durkas coming on the far side of him too. So again, Eastern's done a great job of using a decoy when they're going in, and they're keeping Baxter a little bit off balance on that one. They just got to keep going. 7:32, that's plenty of time to knot this game up. Eastern has played a great 6-7 minutes right now.
Well, what's working well for them is having that second attacker crash the net because it's pulling the netminder over to the far side and not allowing him to seal that post. Goalies are always going to be a bit uneasy when there's more than one player there.
Well, that's the pressure Eastern finally putting on Utah Valley, and it's working for them.
Jelinek up top to Knapp. Knapp puts that in just off of the mark. Eastern back to full strength on the power play now. Up top to Knopp. He's going to go to the far side. Jelinek, couple of steps towards the goal mouth. Looks for the back door. Bunch can't get enough of it. And now Bunch back to Jelinek. Loose puck. Bunch picks it up. Knopp now near side. Looks to go to the left side and across his body using that glove as Baxter for his 35th save of the night.
But Eastern's doing a heck of a good job of putting pressure on Utah Valley right now. They got the Wolverines scrambling, and as long as they keep this up, it'll bode well for Eastern. Plenty of time left for them to do this. Just keep playing this style. They look really good.
And here comes Robbie Arver back out, going to plant himself in front of the net. Pellerin to the far side. Shot taken by Knopp, cleaned up by Waite. Pellerin back to Waite. Off of an errant stick, back to Waite. Up top to Pellerin. Now back to Waite again along the near wall. Pellerin up, or Waite up top to Pellerin through traffic, bounces off a player over into the corner. Out front, and a glove save by Baxter. The back of his glove, now back to even strength. 6:12 left to play.
Great job by Baxter, but I'm really liking the pressure Eastern's putting on this team. Where were they for the first two periods?
And here comes White.
Boy, Arver almost got that tip on that one. Again, it's that relentless pressure that we're used to seeing Eastern do. Here comes Arver. He's coming. He's got two Eagles. They got numbers.
Touched up and sent down into the corner.
Now I'm starting every time Arver takes a hit, I'm looking at the referees to see it. I'm getting paranoid, Tyler. Nice job by Jelinek to knock that shot down.
I just want to take a second real quick while the puck's in the defensive end to go back to that goal by Walker White, his first in an Eastern Washington uniform. So a couple of new goal scorers here for Eastern Washington in their first home games in Cheney, as White and Knopp both able to find the back of the net. That one into the glove of Baxter. Another one from distance.
But what was nice about that one, they had Jelinek breaking in on that one. So if Baxter would not have gloved that, Jelinek would have had a free open net on that one. But Eastern's definitely turned up the pressure, and it's good to see. That looks like Kendall. He came back in this period. So
Kendall back out there. That's good to see.
Yeah, he must be fine. That's good.
Bunch splattered against the wall. Arver now. Now Kendall using his body. Boot with it. He picks it up. He's got Arver in front of him. Instead, he's going to go near side to Bunch. This one ahead to Bunch across the blue line. In and out of the goal. Or in and out of the goalie's glove, rather. In the corner of the goal. Arver now using his body. And again, Utah Valley calling for a head contact on a check by Arver. I didn't want to apologize to Walker White. Had him listed as Parker Waite on my written score sheet here. I've been getting those two confused all game.
Well, good. I feel better about myself right now. Yeah. So I thought it was just me.
It's the first game of 2026. But Walker White really putting in the work today, and like we said, getting his first goal in an Eastern Washington uniform. White with it. Back now to Del Campo. Pushed ahead to DeZerkis. Dom going to push it in. Over to Del Campo now.
They definitely got Utah Valley back on their skates right now. Eastern's just putting a ton of pressure on them.
Now here comes Del Campo. He's got White crashing the near side, and instead he's going to put it goalward and into the glove of Baxter.
That was a great play all the way around on there by Del Campo. It was just unfortunate. He could have just waited just one bit. White was definitely breaking toward the net. And again, I think they got Baxter a little bit shaken up because they've been using that decoy so much. I don't think he's really sure, okay, do I want to make a move to try to go for the shooter, or are they going to hit the decoy? I think Eastern took a timeout, settled down, but there's 2:30 left. Again, Eastern is showing how they can play, and as long as they stay out of the penalty box in the next 2 minutes, 30 seconds, keeps doing that, take a few gambles, still plenty of time to get that puck in the net.
Well, Eastern Washington calling a timeout. Kendall out there all by himself, just testing out that knee, making sure he can make his cuts. And 2:30 left. We'll keep an eye on the netminder for Eastern Washington, Riley Anderson.
But I tell you got to give credit to Anderson. He's played an outstanding game. Okay, Utah Valley has 6, but he's made some tremendous saves tonight, as has
Anderson still in net, 2:20 left on the clock. It's going out into neutral ice. Pellerin going to pick it up.
I think you'll see him come out if Eastern can control the puck in Utah Valley's hand.
Murphy with it. He tries to make a move, and good save there by Pellerin. Uses his stick at just the last moment. Still a dangerous puck, and Anderson wisely covers that one up.
That was a tremendous play by Mr. Pellerin. That's something that Eastern's missed since he hasn't been with the squad for a couple months. He's just an outstanding defenseman. But you're right. Utah Valley keeps trying to sneak some players in, and the referee's done a great job of saying, no, get the other guy out here.
Shot taken again, swallowed up by Anderson.
See, right now, for the last about 10 minutes, Eastern's definitely showing their superiority offensively and how talented they can be. It's just the first 2 periods, they were just kind of stuck. But, man, they played well this third period.
Anderson still in his net. Puck out front, right at the top of the crease. Eastern trying to find it, still loose out front. A Utah player on top of it. We'll see what happened. It looked like a Utah Valley player may have used his hand, and they're going to get a penalty shot. Utah Valley, it looks like it was Murphy, put his hand on top of the puck in the crease, and that is going to be a penalty shot with 1:24 left. Eastern Washington with their best opportunity of the night to tie this one up. Adam Pellerin Looks like he's lined up to take this one. Pellerin against Baxter.
Pellerin can score. There's no question. I give credit to the referee. He was on top of that play. He did not hesitate to make that call.
Pellerin comes in, picks it up, stick handles in the neutral zone, brings it across the blue line on the right side, top of the circle. Speeds it up, and off of the post. Pellerin inches away from tying it up and hits the iron.
He hit off of the arm of Baxter, and then it hit the post. But I loved what Pellerin did. Right before he took a shot, he turned on the afterburners, and that stopped Baxter. That kind of took him by surprise on that one. Great shot by Adam. Still a lot of time.
This one poked away, and now a foot race. Scalia already has three, looking for another one, and Anderson swallows that up. He can't get to the bench if Eastern can't control the puck.
Yeah, and a sneaking suspicion he was going to come off on that one. But a great job by Utah Valley, get a stick in the way of it and get that breakaway. But again, Anderson did a great job of stopping it.
Another kick saved by Anderson. Leonov knocks his man off the puck. Now back to Jeff Leonov. Near side. Lusk looking to use his speed, taken off of his stick. Now back to Lusk. One touch pass to Leonov. Anderson still in the net. Zerkis now in the neutral zone. Ahead to Pellerin. He's got to wait for his men to clear the zone. Can't go get the puck. Eastern may not be able to bolt the goalie. One off the wall ahead to Leonov. Now sent back into the zone by Utah. They're going to hold on to it. They're looking to kill off the rest of this time. And a couple of extra seconds there killed before the official blew his whistle. But that'll be an icing, and it'll be all the way back down the ice. Leonov's going to come all the way out. And Anderson heading to the bench now, as Utah Valley going to call a timeout this time. 25.4 left on the clock. Interesting time to call a timeout if you're Utah Valley, with the face-off coming in your own end. Give Eastern Washington a chance to draw up a play.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that they're letting Eastern take a little rest off of it too. But again, Utah Valley's coach may decide, hey, I got to settle these down, because right now Eastern's just played a really solid third period. And again, they have the offensive skill to tie this up. It's just that face-off is going to be crucial right now. If they can snag that, they can get Utah Valley to scramble around and chase them. They'll have a good shot. I don't know who will be out there for Eastern, but I anticipate to see some speedsters.
Utah Valley heading back out. Eastern Washington coming in as a group. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that Robbie Arver is going to be involved in this play.
I do too. I think he's going to plop himself in front of the net.
Shot taken by Knopp, and there's Arver. He knocks down the player. It's out front. Pinned to the side of the cage by Anderson. 17.8 left. I think they're looking for Arver to use that big body, plant himself right in the top of the lower slot, top of the crease there.
That's what he should do.
Face-off coming, puck down, one to the inside wall. Knopp fires it towards the goal mouth again, shot just wide of the mark. Eastern looking to get it out front. Baxter plugged up against the post. 3.1 left as tempers are flaring. Eastern going to have one more opportunity here. They need to win this face-off and get a shot off right away.
To be frank with you, I wasn't sure where the puck was. It looked like Baxter had it up on
for a couple of seconds at least.
But they let it go, so.
Crashing in his knob. It's going to go towards the front of the net, but Eastern Washington just going to run out of time. As Utah Valley able to get their first win of the season here in Cheney.
It's unfortunate. Eastern played a tremendous third period, and I'm just wondering if they could have done that the whole game, how this would have turned out, because they just dominated Utah Valley this third period.
They did. Just coming up a little bit short here on Friday night. We'll be back at it Monday with some matinee hockey on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Is that matinee at 11 a.m.?
Matinee morning is early day hockey on Monday, as Western Washington will be in the building.
And then tomorrow night, who's out here? We got
tomorrow during the day, it's Gonzaga against UVU. That game will take place at, I believe that game's also at 11 here tomorrow. Eastern Washington, 49 shots tonight, 38 for Utah Valley. Penalties all over the place here.
Well, you're just talking about the shots right there, Tyler. You can see how it flipped. That third period, Eastern just owned it.
After the second period, shots were 31-27 in favor of Eastern Washington. They put 18 shots on net in that third period to Utah Valley's 11. But not the night Eastern wanted to have to start off their January here at home.
But I like their fight in that third period. They came out and played their brand of hockey, and it worked. It's unfortunate they came up short.
And some bright spots out there as Caleb Knopp and Walker White finding the back of the net for their first time in an Eastern Washington uniform. But it is the Utah Valley University Wolverines that come away with this one. The final score of 6-5 here in Cheney. For everybody here at Eastern Washington, for our producer Kayla, for my color guy Gary, my name is Tyler Pisani saying good night, go Eags, and we'll see you at the next one.